Good evening, my little nightmares. Welcome back to my channel. If you are a new viewer, I'm really glad you lost your way around YouTube and you ended up here with me. So in this video I'm gonna show you how I made the Mandrake baby root baby. You can find this, so here's a picture of it. And you can also, if you watched Pan's Labyrinth and Harry Potter, you probably know what I'm talking about. And in this project I wanted to combine the both, so in both movies they look a little bit different, but it's like kind of the same idea. So I used the bowl with milk and a drop of blood from the Pan's Labyrinth, and I used the leaves that grows out of his head, obviously is a plant, and the how do you call it, the more like human-like features with the like the eyes, the mouth, and it's got like more the body shaped into like what, you know, human a baby would be shaped as. In Pan's Labyrinth is more like a root, like it's not very humanized. So I like how they both look, and I tried to combine the both into this little project. So if you want to see how it looks and how I did it, just keep watching the video. Also,
if you enjoyed this video, please consider to subscribe. Also, just leave a little comment if it's just a smile face or anything. Please, if you watch the movie, if you watch the video, just leave a comment below. I really like reading them, and I'm really glad when people take an extra second to just show a little bit of appreciation. I do actually appreciate that a lot. So thank you so much. Go watch the video.
So I'm going to start to shape the bowl from a piece of aluminium foil. And I have the little baby shape as well. This is the wire I'm gonna use to create the armature for the arms and the legs. Cut a piece, measure, and then twist. Another piece for the legs. I wrapped a layer of aluminium foil on the armature, and I'm just checking to make sure it still fits inside. Here I'm gonna start covering the foil with a layer of clay. I'm using Super Sculpey original clay. And I'm gonna do the same, just a rough thin layer on the baby as well. Now I'm gonna use some thread to create the thin roots that should come out of his arms and legs. So just cutting 4 pieces, untwisting the threads a little bit, make it more messy, and then attach that to the armature with a piece of clay. I'm doing this before baking the baby because actually the thread is not gonna burn in the oven, and I think that like that I can attach it a little bit better because the clay is still soft, so I can just attach it to the structure rather than using glue later on. Here I'm just measuring again, make sure it all fits. Made 2 holes where his eyes are gonna be, and just inserting in there 2 little balls of clay. I'm starting to sculpt the face. I'm not being too specific with how it's gonna look. It just has to be like a, you know, like a fatty, distorted, crying baby face, swollen and whatever. Very messy, I guess. So, you know, it's actually quite easy to sculpt this type of shapes of the face and body. Here I'm using a bigger lump of clay to create the belly. I don't know, I just wanted him to have like a really cute bigger belly. Doing the belly button. You know, everyone loves a chubbier baby, you know, they just look cute when they're a bit chubby. So I just keep adding like bits of clay and trying to make you know, more detailed, more shapy. I guess here there is no actual rules. It doesn't have to have like a human body, you just have to have fun with it. And I'm adding this thin pieces of clay to create like something like a swirly root thing as well on its body. Here I'm just using this tool to texture the bowl. I wanted to actually for it to actually have like a texture like coconut, so very like it looks like it's got a lot of like fibers there and everything, and this tool is actually just perfect. It's just messy, and I'm using the same tool to add a little bit more roughness to the baby's body as well. And here I'm just pulling off some of the thread, just make sure it just looks a little bit more natural, not too perfect. Twisting it between my fingers, and this actually created the roots like almost like real. It's actually a very effective and easy way of doing roots, and I think I'm gonna use this in other projects as well. Here actually the baby and the bowl are already attached, and they are already baked as well. Proceeding to color, using a dark brown, sorry, for the base color, and then using the same acrylic brown but just as a wash to tint the body. Here I'm using a lighter beige color just to dry brush on the top to make sure some of those details are popping out and they're a little bit more visible. I'm also doing a bit more of this light color where the leaves needs to be attached later on, because usually a root will always be a lot lighter where the leaves are growing from rather than the tip. And doing the same thing to the bowl as well. Make sure all the crevices and all of that are showing a bit more. Here is just me doing using some black to do the mouth, and I'm adding a little bit of black as well here and there because I was thinking it still needs a little bit more dimension. I should have used the black really as probably before I did the wash, but it still works. I mean, there is no rules to stuff like that, just make it work. Here I'm mixing the two-part epoxy glue, which cures in like about a minute, and then it takes a few more minutes to completely harden. And I mixed that with white resin dye and created the milk. And that looks so awesome. At this point I got really excited about this. And here is some leaves that actually, I think they're like paper ones. It's from like some fake flowers that I had for ages, and I've actually took the big leaf and cut it into little ones. I wanted to have like a mix of different ones. I'm twisting the same wire here to create like a stem, and I've actually wrapped the wire with the same root fibers, and I'm super gluing some of the leaves on. A bit more super glue and just attach it to its head. Be careful when you're using super glue. It usually releases fumes, toxic fumes, when in contact with anything like usually when you're using like fabrics, leather, stuff like that, thread. So just be careful, it's very toxic. Here I'm using some thick mud. This is actually a product for dioramas. is a professional it is really, really good. So if you want anything that looks like mud, I do really recommend that product. It comes in different colors as well. Here is the same 2-part epoxy resin mixed with red resin dye to create the blood. This is a new epoxy glue. I used to use a different brand, but they've been I don't know, their product was failing me last few times. So here I've just ordered some new one, tested it before, works great, cures a bit longer, but nonetheless it still does the job that it should. At the base here I am applying some super glue, and I'm attaching a piece of leather just to I wanted to avoid creating too much friction between the little sculpture and the surface that's going to be placed on eventually. And here is the final result. You guys, I'm so in love with it. I don't know, just after I did it like about 10 days ago, I just kept it on my desk where I work because I loved so much, just keep looking at it. He is so cute.